Disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes and only a summary of the book I am reviewing. To get the full experience of the text, please purchase them in their purest form. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a book written by Dale Carnegie. The sole purpose of this book is to help you harness and profit from the dormant power everyone has inside of them. The power to influence people and create friends. In order to get the most out of this book, please make sure you take notes on everything mentioned. Thank you. Part 1. Fundamental Techniques in Handling People. If you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. Picture this. It's 1930s New York. A bustling and active city street has just been stopped for an ongoing siege of a certain man. This man's name is Two Gun Crowley, a wanted killer for his crimes of murdering cops ruthlessly with no remorse. He stood firm in his New York apartment as gas and bullets rained through his windows. After his inevitable capture, a letter soaked in his blood was retrieved, titled, "To Whom It May Concern." It was a letter written to his sweetheart, stating, "Under my coat is a wary heart, one that would do nobody harm." Listen to that. A man who killed cops for simply causing him an inconvenience claims that he has a good heart? How about this one? Guess who said this quote? "I have spent the best years of my life giving people the lighter pleasures, helping them have a good time, and all I get is the abuse, the existence of a hunted man." Al Capone said that. One of Chicago's most notorious gangsters believes he was a public benefactor and not a bad person, that he was simply giving back to his community. These examples might be extreme, but let's take some opinions from the average criminal. Lewis Laws, a warden for the Sing Sing prison, stated that few criminals regarded themselves as bad men. They rationalize, they explain, they can tell you why they had to crack a safe or be quick on the trigger finger. Now, all of the people I've talked about so far can be generally regarded as bad men. So why don't they think they are? It's because they don't criticize themselves. According to Carnegie, people don't criticize themselves for anything, no matter how wrong it may be. He also says, criticism puts a person on the defensive and makes them strive to justify themselves. Hans Selye, a hormone scientist, said, "As much as we thirst for approval, we dread condemnation." Let's say someone does need help or needs improvement. That's great that you can recognize that. But first, start on your approach to their approval. Let's look at George B's situation. He worked at a construction company and was a supervisor for the team. No one wanted to wear their hard hats. At first, George condemned and bossed everyone around as a superior to wear their helmets. They always slowly replied, and when he wasn't around, no one wore them. However, George thought about it and made a new approach. This time, he was more friendly and tried to accommodate for his crew and his workers, rather than seeing that everyone followed his rule absolutely. So when you're tempted to condemn anyone for their actions, remember Two Gun, Al Capone, and the countless inmates in Lewis's block. Figure out what they need, what they did, and why. In the words of Dr. Johnson, God himself does not propose to judge man until the end of his days. Why should you and I?